Hello to you today. I'm back with you to share this card that I've called Hello Beautiful. I'm doing some stencil work on this, some die cutting and a little bit of watercoloring, and I'm using the Tim Holtz Distress inks to do most of it. I'm also going to be doing some embossing with embossing paste. So a fair mix of products on this card, but I still think it remains quite clean and simple. I'm going to be using the Spellbinders Nested Circles, and this stencil is the Crafters Workshop Canna Lilies, and the inks that I'm using are Fossilized Amber, Spice Marmalade, Crushed Olive. I'm also going to be using some Ranger Monarch Orange. And the embossing paste I'm going to use is Dreamweaver Translucent. I'm also going to use a little Sentiment from Ultinew. Their Meadow Flower, one of their little stamps. So here I'm just doing the stencil work with the colors that I mentioned, and as I'm going to be die cutting this out with the Spellbinders die, I just need to do the part that will show, of course, in the die cut. I just add the colors randomly. I don't pay too much mind to this part. If I were doing a whole panel, an A2 panel, then I would pay more attention to where I was putting the color. But I'm just trying to get some nice highlights. I'm also not tapping off presently, as I'm not too worried about the darker areas. I think that'll be have a nice look on the card. Oh, I had to have a drink of coffee there. Just filling up the areas. I cut a big portion of this out too. It's the hard part about doing videos. And my bird was crawling up my back. So there she is. She's now on my shoulder watching me. So I die cut the piece as you saw there. And now for this is my card front, so it's my card base that I'm using. I've just folded it at the fold part on the card. It's a tent fold. And I'm using the embossing paste to apply over the stencil. I like to make sure that I get it nice and smooth. But even with that, I'll have to wipe my hand down the edges of my card to take away any bits. I do like the look, though, of white or translucent embossing powder on a white base. It just is so elegant, I think. So that part is done, and my die cut panel, so I just put some foam tape on the back of it, and you can kind of see the shimmer. I'm working at night in this part of the video, so it's hard to see the shimmer with even though that's a daylight lamp I'm using, but it is what it is. Sometimes you need to work at night to get things finished. So I'm just lining it up to the embossing paste in the background as to where I'll put the die. And then I move on to picking out which die I'll use from the Tim Holtz Wildflowers collection. It's new. This is set number 2. I hadn't really taken them out of the pad. This is new to me, and I hadn't really taken them out of the package to have a look at them until now, so I wasn't sure what one I wanted to use. So when I saw this with the fronds sticking out of the top, I really quite liked that look. So I went ahead and cut a piece out of the Tim Holtz Distress watercolor paper. I used the back side of it. And I'm using again the fossilized amber and the spiced marmalade and the crushed olive on the flower. Just adding layers of color until it gets to the point that I am happy with it. Just to keep it from not moving, I put a piece of double-sided, or I'd roll my tape there to make it double-sided and stick my die in there. Adding more color as I need it. I want some of the fossilized amber on the stems as well as the crushed olive. I'm not using a lot of water, just a little bit, but I do like to control the water, so I'm not using an aqua pen with it. I think the crushed olive is nice for a change on this stem. Normally I would be picking a lighter, like a grass color more, but I went with the crushed olive for a change. Adding in more color. Could have cut some of this out too, I think. I thought I had done that. So I think I'm done with the painting here. I use Nouveau adhesive to attach it to my card. And I have a foam dot or a foam square underneath the flower portion so it won't flop. And then I just turn it around to add some of the Nouveau Obsidian black aqua pen to those fronds that are coming out. Is that what they're even called? In any event, they're fronds for my card. So I add quite a bit to them. I don't film it all, that would just bore you to tears, but I like the shine that these pens add. I would like to get more of them and actually watercolor with them one day. That would be nice. In any event, I have the paper on there because of course I'm going to hit some of the paper. So got that done, and now I'm going to, I always do this at the end, I'm going to use the little Altenew stamp set. meadow flower. It's got that beautiful sentiment, hello beautiful. I really like it. And I do stamp the inside. I have a picture of that. I don't show that in the video, but I do stamp the inside with a penny black stamp. And I do stencil inside and use a penny black die inside as well. You'll see that in the photos on my blog, which I hope you'll visit, aplaceforkai.com. Anyway, this about finishes up this card. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.